To bring it in, Sean?
Man, go ahead and bring us in,
Yeah.
Sturge.
All right.
I'd like
we
to
live
know.
now?
Go ahead.
we're
You're live.
All right. Hey, welcome to Still Talking Uncut podcast. I'm your guest host, Big Sturge. I'm not on American Whiskey tonight, but I get the boss, Big Easy, and master distiller Sean Rigsby around. Plus, we got Charlie Farley, and some of you may know who that is. I know I do. I know we do. We're excited to do this. We're excited to sit back, relax, bullshit a little bit, and just talk. I guess we're talking liquor, we're talking music, we're talking whatever the hell Charlie wants to talk about. So sit back, relax, grab a beer, grab a smoke, grab whatever it is you're sipping on, and let's get started, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. Just my style.
Yeah. So, welcome in, guys. I've never really done the StreamYard thing. You guys kind of threw me in on that one. So
You're welcome.
So people are going to comment, right? We'll be able to see that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, Charlie, Mr. Farley here. I know.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to kind of open up with just kind of introduce yourself to everybody.
Whoa.
What are we sipping on?
We already getting stopped before we start.
Man, I know you're excited.
First off, you aren't hosting this. I am. So sit back, relax in that big ass camper van you're in, or whatever you're in. Let me do my thing.
I'm in my man cave. But we ain't skipping it. You know, we can't skip it. What you drinking on?
Me?
Yeah, what you drinking on?
Michelob at the moment.
Sean?
Well, Hooch's Peach Brandy.
It's been one of them weekends, huh? You got to pull the good shit out.
Well, I figure I'd go ahead and mix that with Tuck and Red's Peach Moonshine too. So we're gonna see how that is.
It's gonna be a short night for Sean.
Or a long morning, whichever one comes first.
You got you a bottle of Red Weller over there?
Yes, sir. And I'm kind of smashing down a few of these while we're at it.
Those the 60-cent cans, or wait, that's just a little one, ain't it?
This?
Yeah.
It's a 12-ounce Miller Lite.
Okay, well, go ahead. You got to tell the story.
The what?
The 60-cent can story.
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah.
There you go.
So, Charlie, now, I know you're a man that likes good deals. Am I right or am I wrong?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there's a local. I'm big into fishing, so I used to work a little part-time at a fishing store, and they were actually closing down. So my son and my wife and my girls, we all go in there and walk past the refrigerator where it holds all the tall boys, and I'm a Miller Lite drinker strictly, or maybe Busch Light sometimes. But I looked at the owner of the store. I said, "So you're closing down? Everything's 50% off?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Huh? How about them beers over there in the cooler?" He's like, "Yeah, bring them over here. I'll ring them up, see if they ring up." But Natural Light, 50 cents.
God damn.
Miller Lights, 62 cents. Busch Lights, 48 cents. So I looked at my wife and I'm like, I don't know how far I'm going to get away with this, but I pulled all the beers out of the fridge, set them on the counter. I said, "What's the total?" And I literally, you should see my beer fridge. Sean, you seen it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Stuff freaking full of nothing but trashy ass tall boys, dude. It was amazing.
Gosh, damn, yeah. I'm all for a deal, especially that kind of deal.
I don't drink Natty Light, but 40 cents, I'm drinking Natty Light.
Right. I don't blame you. I'd be drinking Natty Light too. Hell.
I'll send you a few down.
Along with a few other things that, life kind of got in my way.
You can pick up where you left off, Sturge.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So, Charlie, there's people on here that have heard of you. Of course, there's going to be people that don't. So why don't you introduce yourself, kind of like what it is you do and just what it is you're all about, man.
Yeah, I'm just so first and foremost, my name's Charlie Farley. I'm from Southwest Arkansas. Grew up listening to all kinds of music. If you could name it, I was jamming it and still am. And now I make music. I blend all kinds of genres together, and we literally just got done. I've been mixing and mastering a session all day for some buddies of mine from Texas. That's rock, rap, and country all mixed together. So I tell everybody, if you don't like one thing, stick around because there'll be a totally different style next week.
Mm-hmm.
Sound like the weather here in Ohio.
Oh God, same thing in Arkansas, man.
That's a good point, Sean.
Yeah.
You say you grew up listening to all these different genres, and I think that speaks volumes for a lot of different people.
Right.
But I wouldn't say I'm a music artist, but I like to write and sing and do some things, and I tend to like one thing over another. What style do you prefer when you're in the studio? What is your favorite thing to record? Like, do you like to just is rapping your favorite part? Is singing? Like, what's your favorite?
It kind of just depends on the mood I'm in, and the vibe that's going on in the studio at the time or the writing session at the time as to what because I love music, period.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't really one style that I'm just like, I got to do this. So it really, to answer your question, it just depends on the mood of the writing session or the studio that we're in as to what I like to do the most, because, I started out just rapping about country, and then picked up a guitar, and one thing led to another. So I guess you could say that I started out rapping about the country, but now I sing. So it's kind of like I'm always trying to blend the best of both worlds.
And I think you've done a really good job doing that, Charlie. Because when you came out with, was it Found with the Lost? Is that the album name?
Yeah.
That was a fantastic album. Sean actually sent it over to me, I think the day that it released, because I knew it was releasing, but I didn't know when. He sent it over, and I listened to it, and I was like, man. At first, I'll be honest, I'm gonna keep it real with you. At first, I was like, man, this isn't like normal, like what I'm used to hearing from him.
Yeah.
And then I got like, what was I can't remember what the song was. It the one for Papaws or?
Yep, this one's for Papaw.
That's when I started. I really started getting into it. So I listened to the whole album. Then I listened to it again. And I'm like, damn, he's onto something here. So that was really cool. But prior to that, my favorite album of yours was Winning with the Losers. That was I think that was a masterpiece in my opinion.
Was which one now? Sorry, the sound cut out.
I think it's called Winning with the Losers.
Yeah.
That was that's still my favorite album.
Well, I tell you what, that album was the first album that I actually, my buddy played the guitar in my band, but he's just a hell of a musician. And so that was the first album that I actually brought somebody from around my neck of the woods in on a session with. And we wrote together, and he recorded the guitar parts on a lot of that shit. It was just a totally different vibe. So I'm glad that you liking that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's the one if my son has my phone, that's the album that he goes to. He either goes to that or Hog Heaven, one of the two.
Right. Yeah. That's everybody's, man. I get that all the time. They're like, Backwoods Boys, Backroads Live. What's good for the goose? Yeah. I'm like, damn.
Jacked Up's probably my favorite one, or Stabbing
Cabin.
Yeah. So I think that's really cool that you're mixing up those genres. Like I said, at first I was like, I wasn't sure, because when you're watching a TV show or you're listening to an artist and they try something different, it's kind of like out of your comfort zone, but it's also out of the listener's comfort zone.
Right. Absolutely.
So, but I hope you stick to the guitar. And what was that, Sean? You sent me that live session they did. It looked like you guys were just chilling in somebody's living room.
Moonlight and Moonshine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was sick as shit, dude. That was amazing.
Yeah, we was right. I'll take you. Hell, I was just there a second ago. We was just right here in my back room in the bar area that I got. Just
hell yeah.
We was on that couch, just hanging out, shooting the shit, and one thing led to another. I invited all the guys over that night just to hang out and drink.
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't supposed to write, but you get a bunch of musicians together, shit's gonna happen.
Man.
That was a badass song, though, man. I can't wait to get it recorded for real.
You don't have it recorded?
Do what now?
You don't have that song recorded?
No, not yet.
Man, that's a killer song too.
That's what I was going to ask, if you were going to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely going to get that one recorded. I don't know when, probably within the next couple of weeks, because I don't like to sit on music too long.
I'll be honest with you, I'm getting tired of going to your Facebook page and having to click play and watch the damn video the whole time. I'm just trying to go to the iTunes and listen to it, bro.
Hell yeah. Well, I'll be sure and get that one done quick.
So, but yeah, so we're obviously you're on Still Talking Uncut podcast. These boys talk a lot of liquor. I host a podcast called American Whiskey. I've commented a few times on your Facebook.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm more of a whiskey guy, but these guys got me into moonshine, and I've not looked back yet. I like to think. But you're living in Arkansas right now?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So when I was listening to the podcast Big Easy and Sean did with this Big Chuck,
Yeah.
I think I remember him saying something about how it was kind of not really a thing shining there. Is that right, Sean, Big Easy?
It probably just depends on where you're at, because I do know there's a lot of places that a lot of people don't talk about it, but and I grew up in DeQueen, and there's a little town in Gillum, about 9 miles north of there, and that's where Bellarmine Road is, where I raised all my hell growing up. And I promise you, there's some old boys back there that could throw down.
Yeah,
they know how to make some good shit.
that goes into my next question. Where's the best jar of moonshine that you've ever tasted? Do you was it from Arkansas? I mean,
yeah, it was actually in Gillum. An old boy come to my grandpa's cabin there. My grandpa built a cabin when I was about 5. He's got 20 acres there in Gillum, has had since I was a baby. And we had a little get together there at the stabbing cabin.
okay,
And old boy brought a jar of apple pie shine, and that's the best shit. I've tried other stuff throughout the years, but it's still that apple pie is the best shit that I ever had.
Now, if I say something wrong, Big Easy is probably gonna smack me. But was the apple pie moonshine? Was it clear, or was it like a apple pie like mixed with shine?
Yeah, no, it wasn't clear. It was definitely it wasn't clear. But damn, that shit was good.
I don't want to talk like my favorite jars come from the guy in the Ohio State hoodie. Good old it's the peach brandy. Yeah, peach brandy. We'll have to get you some of that.
That's because you ain't had that apple yet.
I don't need that apple. I done had the peach. I don't need the apple.
He said he's spoiled now. Shit. Don't want nothing else.
Yeah. You find what you like and you stick with it. Am I wrong?
That's right.
I mean, it is. So, but yeah, Sean, you got it. I know you got some questions over there, brother.
Man, I'm just letting you run away with it, man.
I'm trying not to get too drunk tonight, but I'm gonna sip some shine here. Hold
on. So when it comes to music, man, how did you get involved? I mean, is it when you were young? Did you just kind of pick up a guitar, or did you have an influence? Or
man, it's crazy how this all came to be. So whenever I was young, it's like 11, 12, 13, I was young. My sister passed away. Well, hell, they wanted to, in school, they had a damn counselor there. They wanted me to go to this counselor. Well, I went a couple of times, and then the counselor had me release balloons in the air with a note on it to go. And even though I was young, I'm like, I'm not dumb. Like, I know this note ain't going to my sister, so I don't know what we're doing here. So I quit going, and I just started writing down my feelings. Nobody told me to. I don't know. Looking back on it, it's just the way that things in my life were supposed to work. And one thing led to another. I started writing poetry. And then after I had graduated, well, about the time I was probably 17, 18. The poems turned into songs eventually. And then I was like 23, 24 before I ever went to the studio for the first time. Wow. And once I got in the booth and like just the creative process around other people, that's what they do, it become an addiction. And I've been addicted to it ever since.
I mean, it seemed to come natural. I mean, everything that you've put out album wise, even, or collabs or whatever, has seemed to be really good. So, must have been something that was in the veins. Do you have that in your blood? I mean, is there anybody in your family that was a musician?
No, my great grandma wrote poems. I didn't find this out until probably 5, 6 years ago, but she wrote poetry. And then my grandpa, before he passed away 2 years ago, and he told me, he's like, one of these days I'll let you look at some of my poems. He said, it'll probably be after I'm dead and gone. So I need to hit my nanny up and be like, where's these poems that Papa was talking about?
Might bring an new album out with that.
Yeah, right. So as far as it now, didn't nobody else ever even attempt to do this for a living? But of course, I come from a very blue collar, hardworking family, and music wasn't something that, you know, people could chase, because growing up where I did, you get married young, you have kids, and you go to work, and that's what you do, you know. I did all of that except for I was wild as hell, and so I kept chasing music and living the fast life, and you know, it worked out.
Yeah. So when it comes to, you know, your writing sessions and stuff, is that a daily thing for you, or is this something you're just, you know, riding around on a four-wheeler or out on the boat fishing, and you sit down and you're like, damn, I got this. Let me put this in my notepad or whatever. Or do you set time aside for you to write your music?
It's kind of a variation. If I'm not going to say I sit down every day and think, oh, what are we going to write today? Because a lot of times the best stuff comes to you just while you're living life. But there is times where I'll be like, okay, because I set a goal for myself this year to write over 300 songs. And so there's been times in the last few weeks that I'm like, okay, you got to write, sit down. And I think the more that you write, the better you are. And if you continually write, it's just like, you know, if you go to a job every day and you start out not knowing what you're doing, if you do it every day, all the time, you're going to get good at it.
Yeah.
The more you do it, the better you're going to get. And it's the same with songwriting, just like it is anything else. So I have started to kind of push myself to write, but most of the time it's just let life be,
Happen.
you know, just let life happen and write about it as it goes.
So we had a question in the comments. Is that okay to ask, boys?
Yeah, I was going to get to that. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We had a question. I think Billy Reed said it.
Yeah.
Is the song is the time we had about family?
My verse is absolutely. So let me tell y'all how that come about. So my producer sent me this song with Taylor Ray on it. He had already sang the chorus, and when I heard it, I'm like, damn, I really want to get on that. And we was actually working on one of my albums, and my producer he said, well, we'll just put this on your album. I'm like, okay. Well, I got done with my part, and I didn't hear it again. Colt wasn't on it at the time. I wrote it about my cousin who had committed suicide. So when you listen to my verse, you can hear that in there because I'm talking about literally the times we had whenever I was with him. And then one thing led to another. They sent me the song back mastered with Colt's verse on it. And I'm like, oh shit. Now this is a big ass record for sure.
Yeah.
And then Taylor Ray heard it and was like, man, I want to put this out. What am I going to say? No. Hell yeah, put it out then.
Yeah.
Fine, that's fine. So that's how I was able to be a part of it. And that's how Taylor Ray put it out. Colt got on it. And the good thing about music is Colt took it a completely different direction than I did. I took it, it was a very personal thing for me, you know, when I listened to it. Right. And Colt took it more in, let me tell y'all about like where I'm like me and my buddies and what I would do different. Cause you know, just the way that he talked in the verse, you could tell that he was thinking from a different perspective than what I was thinking from.
And you know, that's what's as a songwriter myself, I don't know if I call myself a songwriter, but I write some, and
I gotta send, not to cut you off, but I got a video of this motherfucker making fun of me one day. I was we were doing some shit.
Yeah.
Some shit.
we was doing some shit, and he's like, he just, I'll just have to send it to you. It's fucking hilarious.
I like to rap on my 6-string guitar, and
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I like to make up shit on top of my head, but
okay,
we're here to talk about you. So the one thing that I find intriguing, and tell me if you guys, Easy, Sean, Charlie, all of you, you were talking about how your verse dealt with, the loss of a cousin, right? And then I believe you're talking about Colt Ford, right?
Yep.
He's talking about him and his boys and all that. But isn't it interesting how you can take that chorus from Ray and your brain and your heart and your chest thumps a different rhythm out of there, like a different thought process, and it means something to you. And then how another artist can get on there and it means something completely different. And that's what's so fucking beautiful about music is
absolutely.
My son and I listen to music all the time. It's going to be really funny. I'll send you a picture of lyrics that he writes. He gives them to me. I got them literally. I got them right here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's 7 years old, but when he listens to your music, he feels a certain way that I do not. When I listen to your music, I feel a certain way. So that's what I think the most gorgeous thing is about music is, I think that Billy Reed made a great question there, and it's really cool to hear the lining of that story for that song specifically, just because it shows everyone's heart beats different, and everyone's ears hear something different. And that song literally is played 10 times a week on my stereo when I'm down here working on my podcast or writing music, whatever it is.
That's awesome.
Because that song hits hard. And
I got my first gold record because of that song.
There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it.
Literally, I just got it like a month and a half ago. I got it hanging up in the studio.
Hell yeah.
How many of those do you have?
Just that one. That was my first one. Yeah. Now, Backwoods Boys, Fuck Around and Find Out. There's several that's about to hit gold.
But that was time my son's allowed to use the foul language. Is when he's singing the song.
You can fuck around and find out.
And every time it's like this, I'm like, beep, and find out. I look over, I'm like, he's like, it's the song, Dad. It's just a song. I'm like, all right. Don't
let it slide. Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, it's really cool. And that's another thing, Sean. I know you listen to him. We're literally, here's the funny thing. We're like fangirls. It's all right. I'm not ashamed of it. But we're always knocking Charlie Farley songs back and forth to each other. Like, when's the last time you listened to this one? When's the last time you listened to this one? But it's interesting because you'll have an album in my eyes. Again, this is in my eyes, dude. And you can totally tell me I'm a dumbass or shut up, fat boy, whatever you want to do. But you have albums that the songs spin differently. Like you'll have your first track, you can feel a different way, and then maybe the sixth track, it's cool. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. Like you have a very diverse albums,
and I think that just goes back to like I was talking about. I write about life, and as life happens, and so it's like you don't wake up excited about every day, or you don't wake up sad every day. So that's how my music is. Like, I don't say, okay, I'm this type of artist and this is the only thing I'm going to do. I just do whatever I feel like doing, and I hope people like it whenever I put it out,
Well, that's one thing I've learned, is I was just talking to Sean about it today. I came out with a song called Ohio Moonshiners. I just said I wasn't going to talk about it, but we'll talk about it. Fuck it. And we're not going to hear it right now, but Sean really digs it. I don't know if Big Easy does. I think he does.
So not to cut you off, but I like the acoustic version a lot better.
You did?
Yes.
Absolutely. You liked it better than the electric guitar?
Yep.
Well, fuck me. I like it the other way around, but the wife's like, that sounds like shit. Use the acoustic. I'm like,
She knows what she's talking about.
Well, here's what's fucked up. My ears, like, I think Charlie can say the same thing. You might like something, and then there'll be 10 people that are like, that's not good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you're like, what do you mean? Are you fucking tone deaf? Like, but yeah, so I wrote this song called Ohio Moonshine because I have mad fucking respect for Big Easy, Sean Rigsby's, all of this brother and sisterhood that we that, I'm not a moonshiner, man. I just hang out with these guys and I've learned a lot from them. And what?
I was saying, nobody in here, hey, moonshiner.
Yeah.
Ain't no moonshiner.
That's what you're talking about. Ain't nobody, But so I was like, I'm sitting there one day and I started writing a song called Ohio Moonshine, just like the legacy in Ohio for these kinds of people. And the way, is it an outlaw life or is it the way you raise, try to survive? It's a survival. And well, so I dumped it, dude. I was like, fuck this song. I put it in the notes in my phone. I said, dude, I'm not going to do it. This sounds so stupid. Like, I only sing love songs. You know what I mean? Sean. And then Rigsby texted me one day. He's like, dude, you should make an Ohio Moonshine song. And I was like, give me 4 seconds, motherfucker. I got one on my notes. Piece that shit real quick. And he's like, dude, that's good. And I put it out, dude. I did it that day. And, it's not nearly as good as your shit, and you'll laugh listening to it. But anyways, there's a lot of.
I got to hear it. I've got to hear it.
We'll show. Maybe we'll show him. We don't know yet. We don't know. I'll let Big Easy be the boss of that one. I don't know. I mean, he never. Big Easy never even said good job, bro. He just gave me the thumbs up.
He's a piece of shit. Let's not.
That's
right.
Dude.
You can only give out so many compliments, man.
I've never got a compliment from you, dude.
I know. So when you do get one, it's going to mean a lot more.
Hey, just get the hoe, man. Just get the hoe.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You worked that thing right.
Go ahead and tell Charlie about me jacking off a hoe. You might as well tell him so he doesn't walk away from this conversation thinking something weird.
It's too late. It's too late.
It's not too late.
We will when we go off air.
All right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Everybody else has already heard the story. We've
That's
been through
true.
it
Multiple times. But yeah, so are you cool with still talking about music?
Absolutely.
Okay, because
anything, whatever y'all want to talk about, I'm good with.
Okay, so I have another question. Who is your most famous person in your contacts? Musical person.
I would say, well, I mean, yeah, go ahead, but
I don't know. Probably Colt, because Colt knows everybody. Yeah, like Colt's very connected in the music industry. Like that dude knows.
He's been going at it for a long time.
Yeah, he knows.
Chicken and biscuits.
He's had a feature from every big name artist in the country genre ever. Like he just not too long ago did one with Kevin Gates. So yeah.
What?
I'd say, yeah, you ain't heard that?
No.
Oh man, you got to check that out.
I'm going to remotely right after this.
Yeah. So I'd probably say Colt.
So how many, like, do you guys work together?
Yeah, he just got on the remix to River Rat shit that I put out on my last album, The Lone Ranger. It was like December, I think I put that out. And it was literally just a text, hey man, I got this song, I think you'd be great on it, check it out. And he checked it out and he's like, yeah, I'll hop on it. And within a week he sent me the session and I sent it over to be mixed and it's good to go.
So excuse me real fast, Charlie Farley, give me 1 second here. Hey, Big Easy, nice fucking jar of Sean's juice over there that I gave 2 of to you, son of a bitches, and I still haven't gotten none back.
Hey, that's all him.
No. He's over here sipping the jar that I give him. Never mind.
It's a good thing there's more left, right? I mean,
maybe.
I'll say, here you go. I'll do something better. I'll sip something better.
All I know is I wound up with 2 extra jars, and I didn't know how. Like,
it's pretty. I'll tell you the story real fast, Charlie. It's pretty much I got fucked over, and they won. So there's a story for you.
Well,
real fast.
Yeah, real quick.
Real fast.
All you gotta do is come over.
No.
But so anyway,
I got Sean's chocolate sipping cream for you too.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, if you answer the fucking door, you dickhead. But anyway,
dirty as hell. Moving on.
So Charlie, what kind of response have you got from Rebels Never Die? I mean, did you get a good response from everybody about that song? I mean, I love the song perfectly, or myself. There's
been several people. I ain't pushed that as a single yet. But there's been several people that's whenever I do TikTok lives and stuff, a lot of people will comment on there and say that that's one of their favorite songs off of that album.
Personally, I agree.
Me too.
It hits home, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think, and I think the reason why I ain't pushed it yet, as far as the single goes, is because I don't want people thinking that I'm just trying to ride the political wave or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
but
but Charlie, you'll always get that. You know that. You always
you're
those haters.
You're right. But that's honestly,
Some of them are close to you.
that's shit. I guarantee you the people closest to you will be the ones you don't think, and them's the ones that's hating the most.
Oh, I know,
They
man.
they just keep it down low.
Mm-hmm. What in the world? Someone's coming through my basement. Hold up. What's up, buddy? Oh, you are awesome. Hey, hey, Charlie. This is our coach. Why'd you flip him off? You never met him before.
Hell yeah!
This is
Hey, how you doing?
my best brother.
That
He's
was
brother to
a
me. He's on American Whiskey. He's one of the hosts on there. So
Sweet. What's
man.
up, buddy?
cool as shit. He's
Hey.
no, not cool, but he's all right.
Is that Farva?
Yeah, it's Farman.
I am fucking excited about this bottle.
What's that? What are you drinking on now? That Weller?
Oh no, this is only $11, and it's the best shit you boys can ever come. It comes in a plastic bottle, and you look like an alcoholic when you get it, but when you bring it home and you drink it, you're like, this shit's delicious. So,
Okay.
it is. It's good, man. It's everyone
I'll stick
says
to
that.
this.
What is that? Champagne?
No, this is a mix of Hooch's Peach Brandy and Tucking Red's Peach Cobbler.
Putting them together.
A mix.
You rip one of those burps one more time in the microphone, dude, and I'm gonna mute you. Yeah, I bet you do.
That ain't the first time Sean been like that, huh?
That's what I'm saying, Big Easy. I'm not trying to talk shit, but I'm sure Sean's opened his mouth that wide before. I'm just saying. So,
The sure thing is you were never around.
so-
and it got weird.
this motherfucker got jokes now. Interesting. But, anyways, let's just move on. These jackasses, dude. You go over to American Whiskey, you'll have a good time, brother. These fucking clowns over here.
We definitely got to do one on yours too.
Oh, we'll do it, man. We'll do it for sure. Well, you might listen to one of my songs. You'd be like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking go on that guy's podcast."
Or he might be like, "Look, dude, I'll come on, just don't sing."
That's true. That's true. And then I'll just get butt hurt. I'm real childish. I'll just get real butt hurt and just say fuck it. I'll delete all your music off my iTunes. I don't give a shit.
That sounds like everybody else in the music industry.
Oh, for sure, right? So, do you know Jelly Roll?
I've met him in passing a couple of times, but I don't know him.
There's just a couple people I wanted to know that you met. Like, how about Upchurch?
Yeah, I've met him a couple of times.
How was that encounter?
It was good.
Yeah.
I think we had 3 different shows we did together.
Really?
Where I opened for him, and we hung out and bullshitted, and
Oh yeah,
it was a good time.
So, when are you coming to Ohio?
yeah.
Is there any plans of that? Or
That's a damn good question. Used to back prior to COVID, I went up there several times. I think I went to I don't know. There was a couple of towns in Ohio that I'd hit a few times, but I haven't been back in a while. And a lot of people are like, "You got to come to Ohio." So definitely gonna have to make that happen.
So, how far out do you book or schedule? Or the reason I ask because there's this festival in Wilmington called Farm to Bottle. When is it? The end of summer?
Yeah, it's in September. Into September,
And he tries to bring in a lot of big bands or artists and all that.
Right.
And I think you would be a good fit for the festival if that's something you might be interested in.
Hell yeah! Tell them holler at me. Let's make it happen.
You stay in the campground.
Mm-hmm.
right next to my camper.
Stay in the campground.
You won't. If you're next to me and Dylan, the guy that you just walked in here, if you're next to our fucking camper, you will not sleep, brother. And we do things we're not supposed to.
They'll be partying.
Everyone's
Oh,
like, "What
yeah.
the hell?"
It's
The
good
funniest
time.
story about Farm to Bottle. This guy comes up to me, and he's like, holds his hand out like this, and he's like, "Here, eat one." And I thought he said, "Eat these." So I grabbed 3 of them. I threw them in my mouth. I was like, "This ain't like, you know." And he's like, "No." 45 minutes later, I'm sitting at my booth with all my equipment, and my board starts going like left and right, kinda. And I was like, "What the fuck?" So I like looked over at Dylan. Dylan's like, "Bro, you've been staring at that thing for 20 minutes." I was like, I like get up, and Uncle Joey, he's my wife's cousin. He's on the podcast, American Whiskey. I like walk over to him. And I look at him. I'm like, "Do I look okay?"
No,
And he
you don't.
grabs my face, dude, like this, and he's like, "Look at me." And I was like, "What?" "Calm down and enjoy the ride." I was like, "I can't. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. I'm freaking out. I think I can see my chest beating through my shirt. Like,
Oh my
it
God.
was so bad. It was like, dude, it was a couple 100 milligrams of THC, dude. It was like,
Yeah,
it was.
but it's real cool
dude.
though because it's a farm to bottle, right? So it's kind of
Good
based
time.
on whiskey
Mhm.
and
Right.
farmers and yeah, because where we're at, I mean, it's a lot of cornfields, you know, but like it's also right where the hills start to flatten out.
Yeah. And there's a lot of master distillers, like the TV show that Sean was on. Dan Gray, he's the one that heads it up. That's who we'll get you in contact with, have him reach out to you. But they bring a lot of them on. I think there's a couple more coming, Sean. That's what I understood yesterday. The interview I did with
I'm
him.
sure there's going to be several more this year as opposed to last year. I mean,
I don't know. I just like to.
You had Sean and you had Bence and you had Doug Taylor,
Mhm.
and then you had
KJ Jackson stopped in.
Yeah, you had
That motherfucker left before I got there.
He showed up 3 days late.
That's that Pacific time, man. Sean runs on Pacific time.
Pacific is not 3 days.
Literally. Sean, there was one day he was supposed to come over to say hi, and he was supposed to be here at noon. And my wife's like, "It's like 2:30." She's like, "Where's he at?" Like, I'm trying to blah blah blah. I'm like, "I don't know. Let me text him." He's like, "Oh, I'm about to get in the Honda and head your way." 2 hours after that, dude, he's like,
"What
headed
Honda?"
that way. The wife done left. She's like, "I'm tired.
I ain't got one no more."
Yeah, you gotta worry about the Honda no more.
You still got it. You can drive it.
No, it's not here anymore.
Oh, they took it.
Yeah, that thing went through a herd of deer, a whole herd. It went out to wiped out a whole herd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
It's not true though. That's not true. Are you allowed to tell that story?
Might want to wait.
I'll wait.
Off air.
I can, but
that's off air. That's an off air thing.
But
next question.
No,
so, Charlie, what's your favorite song from all the songs that you've wrote?
Man, I always tell everybody it's the next one because
I like that.
I write like whenever I write, it's like I don't write make believe shit. I write about my life, either what I'm going through, what I've been through, or what I see coming. And so whenever I write one, it's about my life, and so every one of them is really personal to me. I think probably some of my favorite ones are the ones that was the hardest to write, which was ones like Red Rose that I wrote about my sister, and then this one's for Papa that I wrote about my grandpa. And I've actually got one that I wrote about my dad that I ain't released yet. I ain't even like sung it on acoustic on live anywhere or nothing, because it's just so hard to, you know, them songs that are super personal like that, like this one's for Papa. It took me 2 days to record that because I had it all wrote, but when you get in there and like you're feeling the lyrics that you wrote with what's going on in your life at the time, like, man, it's just so I'd say it's always the next song is my favorite, but at the end of the day, the ones that mean the most to me are the ones that I've wrote about the people that meant the most to me. You know?
So when you say, you just said everything that I write's about things that I've been through, kind of, which gives me the song title, All I've Been Through, one of the songs that you did. I think it was on, I think the album name was All I've Been Through, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the first track on there was called that.
Mm-hmm.
How like that song was pretty deep. in my opinion.
I just felt like at the time when I wrote that song, man, everybody was writing about mud because at the time it was a big deal. Everybody wrote about mud and trucks and honestly, I think that's what a lot of fans probably wanted to hear from me at the time because I was just coming off the Hog Heaven album and but I was just like, you know what? Mud ain't all that I've been through.
Yeah.
And beer ain't all that I can brew. Like I wanted people to know that although I do love mudding, I do love drinking, I do love having a good time, at the end of the day, that ain't what makes me me. Life makes me who I am, and I'm all right about everything.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorite songs.
Yep, same.
I think I knew that, Sean. I think you sent that to me and said that. You're like, you ever heard this one? I'm like, I don't understand if this motherfucker understands. I listened to them all. Like, yeah, John, I've heard the song. But that was a really good album though, because you started out with that track and it hit hard. That was a hard track to start with. Just to start that album off with, because you had so many fucking bangers on that album, dude. Country at This was a solid one. I think, was it Love or Love?
Yeah, Love Harder.
And then the one with the last one on there, I think it had Colt Ford on it. Summertime.
The remix is Southern Summertime, the remix. Yep.
Like, I sound like a fucking girl.
So it was funny, like I was telling Sturge earlier. There's this distillery in Southern Ohio, and Sturge, American Whiskey went and set up and shit, and he was like, "Hey man, I ran into this dude that knows you," and I was like, "No shit," and he's like, "Yeah," and we'll come to find out, the dude that knows me is the dude that turned me on to your music years ago.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
It's like, funny how that stuff worked though, because when I told you who it was, that was the first thing that you said. You're like, you remember, because we pass, like I said, we pass each other. Like if we listened to a song that got to us that day from you, or in general, we'd shoot it over to each other. And when I met that dude, that was the first thing that Sean said. That's how I got into Charlie Farley.
I'll be damned.
I got into it because I was a big YouTube guy. Like I liked going on, and I was cheap as fuck, dude. Like college kid, like I should say a dropout. But anyways, I was a dropout. Yeah. I went for a couple months. I went to a Christian college, got booted out, but that's for off-air topics. Girls are
can't wait to hear it.
But anywho,
went from Christian college to moonshine. I feel it.
Let me tell you something, bud. I'll never forget going to the dean's office. They're like, "What's in your back pocket?" I'm like, "My wallet." They're like, "The other one." I was like, "Can of chew." They're like, I'm like, "This ain't gonna work."
Behind it.
Yeah.
This won't work. But I was listening to YouTube, and you know how like it'll play like the net, like it's something related kind of to that. I think I was listening to probably something like Colt Ford, because that's who I listened to mainly back then. And it popped, one of your songs popped up, and I was like, "Who the fuck's this cat?" And I went down the rabbit trail.
Yeah, Backwoods Boys was the first song I heard. I believe it was.
I was like, "Who the fuck this guy think he is?" Charlie Farley.
I tell you what, Backwoods Boys is definitely a great introduction to who I am, because that kind of sets the mood for anything else that's to come. Because even though I am backwoods as hell, I do like rap and rock and everything in between. So I think I'm glad that Backwoods Boys was a song that kind of hit first and that people took off with, because it left me room to grow. A lot of artists will get started with a song, like a song will blow up and they can't go anywhere else. They can't deviate. But I feel like with Backwoods Boys blowing up, I'm able to do exactly what I'm doing now.
What was your favorite? You say growing up, you listened to all kinds of things. What did you listen to? I mean, what was your favorite listening when you were in high school? Let's say high school. What did you listen to in your Ranger?
So it was, we burnt CDs back then. It was LimeWire and Napster.
Hell yeah. On my computer, I'm like, I don't know, Dad. I downloaded this song. Next thing I know, I'm like,
catching all them viruses.
As an artist now, I'm glad that I wasn't an artist then. You know what I mean? But But
Hey, LimeWire was clutch as shit though until
you ain't kidding. But I think literally so we burnt CDs and we would ride around listening to everything. I mean, shit, we go from Trick Daddy and Snoop Dogg to Willie Nelson and Johnny Cash, you know.
Biggie said, now he's talking.
Yeah, I mean, we listen to everything. I mean, when you can go from, I mean, we go from long haired country boy to, some California rap shit.
Dude, you know what's some of the best nights? I think we can, all four of us can say some of the best times we ever had growing up, whether high school, drop out of college, early 20s, whatever, is in the garage with some buddies. And, you listen to anything from Eazy-E, and the next thing you know, you're singing fucking Tim McGraw featuring Nelly to George Jones. And then you're back over to fucking T.I. Or whatever you.
I mean, I wasn't in the garage because my mama would have beat the shit out of me. But I was on a dirt road in the middle of nowhere doing the same shit.
We was in somebody else's garage.
I might have said my garage, but I was not in.
Was it on a weekend when they was in Great Wolf Lodge?
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to hear this story on off air for sure. But one of the funniest things I ever had, my parents went to New Orleans and I thought they were leaving on Friday night. So I had this party. It was planned, dude. I mean, we were getting the ladies there. We were getting a case of whipped cream from Sam's Club and a baby pool and the girls. And, we got a mini keg.
Did you go to KR or did you go to Northeastern?
I went to Northeastern out in the sticks, boy. Like this was gonna be the party of the year. And so we show up with the mini keg. My buddy had a Ford Ranger. We strapped baby pools in the back of it. We pull up and we're unloading out of nowhere.
Why'd you put pools in there? You should just fucking throw a tarp over that son of a bitch and dump water and then be done with it.
Because we were doing a little thing, obstacle course in my parents' house. Don't worry about what I fucking do, bro. I was trying to get some ladies over to the house wrestling whipped cream, and it was going to work out anyway. So next thing I know, one of my buddies walks in the house. They're like, "We got a problem, guy." And I was like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Well, your dad just pulled in." I was like, "There ain't no fucking way. They're on their way to New Orleans." No, they ain't. Here comes my dad. He's 6'9", 400 pounds.
God,
through the front door. The fuck's going on in here? And I was like, "Well, pretty sure it's obvious
what was going on in here."
I'm gonna give you about 10 minutes to get these fuckers out my house, and you and I are gonna have a conversation. I was like,
I feel that in my soul, man.
Hold on. Let me send your mom to the store, and you go ahead and do.
Then we'll have a conversation.
Send your mom to the store. Get the whipped cream out.
And here's the story: you fell and hit your eye on a fucking corner. Fireplace.
I'm
gonna circle back in about 20 minutes. I came in at the wrong time.
But we've all said lies, Sean. You know that. But it's this thing. Like my dad's like my best friend Ryan Minnick was there. Tag Ryan Minnick, Dylan. He got to hear this. He's like, just don't tell him the truth. I was like, all right. So he questions me about 10 questions. He's like, were you about to have a party here? Nope. What's the keg doing in the garage? And I was like,
run a moonshine.
We didn't want to get hot inside of his truck. And he's like, there's ice inside of a trash can in my fucking garage. Why? I'm like, He's like, what's up with the baby pool strapped up to Minnick's truck? And I'm like, those are for his dogs. It's just, dude, like just trying to lie to get out of it. My dad's like, I just want to know what the pools are for.
I ain't never seen this shit before. I need to know.
I was like, Dad, you don't want to know.
He did what he should have told him. He might have respected him. Like,
he might have been like, hell yeah, let's try that.
Probably would have.
I'll stay in a hotel tonight. Do you think?
God damn it! I didn't think of that shit when I was.
What was fucked up is Ryan Minnick goes to grab the beer keg, and my dad's like, not happening. It's staying here.
Dad got a free
like,
keg of beer.
I'm gonna finish this motherfucker off.
My dad's like, you guys got Heineken? I'm like, yeah. He's like, damn good.
Nice. He's like, I got Heineken.
He's like, I'm used to drinking Busch lattes, but the Heineken's good. I'm like, yo, Ryan, pick up your keg on Sunday because Dad is going to drink that shit.
This is going to Nolan's with us. Put it in the trunk.
Yeah, I never actually tried that. I never threw a party at my parents' house. I never actually got a successful fucking party at my parents' house.
Yeah,
That
I did.
One time ruined you for life, didn't it? Like, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, it was terrible.
You always go to somebody else's house because you ain't got to worry about shit.
But we had dime pieces coming too, dude. Like, I don't even know. Like, we had the ladies coming, dude. It was going to be the.
Should have relocated it.
Should have just told my dad the truth. He'd be like, all right, go ahead over to New Orleans now.
Like,
What do you think, son?
It's amazing what that'll do.
We all partied in this place called Plaza, and it's an old cesspool dump area, and they had fishing. You catch three-eyed fish out of there and shit. And we'd go up
Where's
in
this
there.
at? Where's this
Over
at?
in Northridge.
In Dayton?
Yeah, Dayton, Northridge.
First off, when everyone says Northridge, because I live in Northridge too.
Yeah.
That's why
Dayton, Northridge.
clarified that.
Not the nice Northridge. You know, we'd be back there. We go fish.
It's where I used to buy my shrooms.
Native fish, but we roll up in there and have big bonfires and kegs, and the cops would come break it up, and all the kids would go running.
Mm-hmm.
And we do it like every other weekend. It was a good time.
But the problem is like I'm like a bigger feller, so I've never been the one to run. I'm always the one that the cops like. So what's going on here? And I'm like, well,
See, I was younger.
You're asking the wrong person, brother.
Yeah, I could get gone when I was younger. Now,
clearly, I'm not jumping an 8-foot fence.
Yeah,
So,
if I'm running, you better be running too, motherfucker.
but now, if we're gonna have a cake party, it's just gonna be out in the barn. We're gonna have a fire in the yard. So there ain't no worries nowadays.
Listen, Charlie, we're talking about parties, dude. I know you've been to a fucking good party, dude. What's the best party you ever thrown, dude?
Man, it'd be, as far as ones I've thrown, it'd be at the cabin.
Cabin?
Yeah, we've had a lot of wild ass parties and too many stories to tell.
He said a lot.
Ones you can't remember and ones you can't tell.
Yeah, definitely a lot of them I can't tell.
So I got a question. The song Bonfire Hero.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come about?
I just felt like that's what a lot of, growing up in Southwest Arkansas, you get by a fire and you drinking with a bunch of buddies, somebody's going to break out a guitar. And there are people that I grew up with that got more damn talent in their pinky finger than I'll ever have. They can play, sing. I mean, and that's not just local to me. That's everywhere I've ever been and been hanging out at a fire and somebody break out a guitar and start singing original songs.
Yeah.
And so that's how that song came about. Cause I felt like the people around home that didn't know how to even get started chasing music. Like I felt like they could relate to that shit, and honestly, that's how I used to be. It's just, sit around a fire and drink and play, and everybody would be like, yeah, do you know so-and-so can sing? And you're like, no, he'll be here in a little bit, check him out. And then so-and-so starts singing, you're like, gosh, damn. Like, why ain't you been nowhere yet?
I always feel like that's the best time. Sorry, Sean, go ahead, buddy.
Oh, no. I was going to say, I don't know your guys' experiences, but you guys are more musicians, in my opinion, than what I am. I picked up a guitar when my stepdad passed away, which one of them is behind me. But my biggest hurdle with that is playing and then starting to sing while I was playing.
Right.
It's just, it was hand-eye coordination couldn't fucking... I mean, finally I got it down, but that was a huge fucking hurdle to me.
Tell Charlie what I asked you. You don't even fucking... I swear, this dude's got fucking Alzheimer's.
Hey, if my memory's bigger than my dick, I guess I'll be okay.
It's gotta be shorter than you. They're both tiny. I don't know what to tell you. I texted him the other day. So I grew up through in bands, all kinds of bands, like acoustic rhythm guitar, singing. And so I texted Sean the other day. I said, dude, I rewrote a bunch of originals, dude, and I'm looking for just an acoustic set. I need an acoustic guitar player. So I'm trying to talk him into playing with me, doing some, small shit where people can talk shit to you and tell you suck kind of a thing. You know what I mean? You know,
That's what
You'll
I
get
feel
no
that.
matter
That's what I
you
feel
do.
like every time we do TikTok lives.
yeah,
No,
for sure.
It doesn't matter what you do. People are going to tell you you suck
Man,
at it,
Well,
you know,
That's right.
regardless
absolutely
of
right.
what it is.
Here's
Especially
the
if you're enjoying
fucking-
yourself.
Here's the coolest thing about it, though. I am a 450-pound, 6'1" dude, ugly as fuck with a beautiful, gorgeous wife. Boys will attest. It don't make no sense. But, you know, the one thing I've always had is my 6 strings, and I've sang. Some people fucking hate it. But there's always some people, dude, that are just like, dude, I'm very surprised that you can do that. And just
Right.
those few people that say that to me make it so fucking worth it. Like it's there's no better feeling than Sean Rigsby texting me and saying, dude, that Ohio Moonshine song you fucking wrote, dude, is badass. I feel honored to have a friend write that song. Like, dude, that was so fucking cool, man.
Dude, that
Right.
alone, right? So even when I was over at your place, dude, that day, and you're just piping shit off the fucking, you know, that's shit I can
I
only
can
dream
shit
of
off the
doing.
guitar, might I add.
I can't do that. You know, that's not something I can do.
That was
that's cool as
I was
fuck.
just making fun of you. That's easy as hell.
Well,
Imagine if
yeah,
Big
but
Easy
I
was
can. I
there.
mean, but why am I gonna make fun of myself? You know what I'm saying? I do that shit easy. I mean, it don't take but a fucking hot beer keg for me to make fun of myself.
This is true.
I mean,
I witnessed
saying.
that. You two were stupid that day.
you're fucking telling me.
You wasn't much better.
What are you talking? First
the
off,
hoe,
I'd
with
rather
the
jack
hoe.
off a hoe any day than pick up a fucking keg that's been sitting on an open flame for 3 hours. These dipshits decide, let's pick this keg up that's been on an open fire for 3 hours.
Man, I
They
never
put
said I
on-
was smart.
They put on like mechanical gloves.
Leather gloves. It melted to my
Cowhide
fucking
gloves.
my
Let's go.
skin.
Charlie, when I tell you this,
gloves.
you would have shit yourself laughing. I told my son, because he always, hey, my son's my dude, man. He rides everywhere I go. And I said, back up for this. He's like, why? And I was like, because this ain't a good idea. They picked up this keg,
Hey.
dude.
Sketchy
And
is my middle name, son.
That's
They-
right.
Burnt holes within 13 milliseconds through the gloves and through their hands, dude.
God,
I'm over here going like this, trying to get this glove
I'll
on,
show you exactly what it was.
as I'm holding the keg with the other hand.
I was like, no
I
shit.
didn't
Sherlock
get
Holmes.
burnt. So
You put a
Yeah, you
keg
did.
on an open flame. What the fuck?
Hold
do you
on, hold
think's
on.
gonna happen?
You
Yeah,
did
my-
get burnt. You
my
stuck your
burnt-
arm down.
Yeah, my burnt went from fishing your phone out of the condenser.
No, not a con. It was just, yeah, it was an all bad day. It was a terrible day. I'm sure Charlie Farley, you know about bad days. These motherfuckers have a lot of them.
It was an awesome day. You're the only one that said it was a bad day. I had
My
a good
shit's
time.
good, son.
Because you guys made me jack a hoe like I was doing work, and you guys like an hour
Hey,
later are like,
look,
you actually
We,
don't
we
gotta
made
do that.
stirs. We made.
Let me
stirs,
stop you.
stirs,
I made
so-
him do it too. I made him do
yeah,
it too.
well,
Big Easy and I are over here like.
that was later. That was later. So,
And then Sean's like, you don't gotta do that, right? I'm like,
Sean's
you're a
trying to
bitch.
do these apples,
We're leaving.
and so he's like, Stirs, you want to take over? Stirs takes over. He's mixing these apples.
And I'm working hard. I'm like,
15
hopefully I'm
minutes.
impressing these guys. I'm really got the great forearms.
He
for
was like,
this.
"Is this necessary?" And we was like, "Nah, that ain't necessary, man. We just."
Well, here's what I was thinking. My son's sitting right there, and I was like, "You want to take over, bud?" And he's like, "Nah." And I was like, "Hey, Sean, what is this doing exactly?" And he goes, "Not a thing, son. Not a thing." And I was like, "All right, son, grab the truck. We out of here."
Now you glad you stayed because then you got to see the rest of the show. It's
Yeah,
always a good time. Hey man, we had a good time.
we
you
did.
know?
Hey, every time we're together, we have a good time. You know, we just got to
That's
add
what it's
Charlie
all
in one of
about.
these mixes so he can see how dumb as fuck you guys are sometimes.
I definitely got to get up there.
You know, Big Easy, this dude's got some cojones though. So my son, Sean Rigsby here, was showing my son how everything works or whatever. And so I don't know how this happens, but his phone drops into the condenser.
Yeah, I'm
For
so
some reason, Sean doesn't like the noise of a condenser, so he shuts it off so it gets super duper hot.
well. Let's not get
Drops his
carried
phone
away.
straight into it. Here comes Big Easy, and they're looking at me, and I'm like, I'm not putting my fucking hand in there, dude. You
Yeah.
see the steam coming off that water? Big Easy goes in there and shoves his hand in there. 5 minutes later, he's like, look how red my arm is. I'm like, no
Yeah.
shit.
I mean,
I
I'm not a
burned it.
smart man, but I know that 20 gallons isn't as much as 50 gallons, and 50 gallons stays cooler a lot longer.
I don't know, dude. All I know is I wouldn't do anything you guys do.
Hey man, That's why we do it, so you know what not to do.
This is true. I do know not what I do. That's true. You guys have saved me.
You got to learn somewhere.
I've got some great
So,
teachers.
Charlie, aside of your, well, as a musician, I don't know how you are, but aside of yourself, and I'm going to even go as far as saying aside of Colt Ford,
Mhm.
who's your favorite artist to listen to?
Big Sturge.
Oh, man. Right now,
I was,
Morgan
yeah.
Wallen.
Morgan.
I'd probably, God, man, I don't know. I'd hate to say one person in particular because I
You have
listen
to.
to so much shit.
We're forcing you to.
One person.
He said, we're forcing you to. What a dick.
Hey,
Just tell him he's a dick. So you're a piece of
piss a
shit.
bunch of people off. So you. This is what I want to happen. I want him to name one artist, and then a bunch of people text him like, "What the fuck, dude?"
You're just like us, man. What the fucking dick.
Just say something crazy like Aerosmith.
No,
I mean,
It's a
I
good one.
mean, if I'm listening to, if I've got to put on one fucking artist
Mhm.
right
yeah,
now,
we're talking any genre.
Yeah,
Right.
you're out on the 4-wheeler getting some mud, and you got the earbuds in. What are you listening to?
Or working out, whichever one.
I don't do that, so I never use that analogy.
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you there.
Sean's got to be fancy and use words we don't understand and
Oh,
shit.
like you're working out. Yeah, that
Dude.
fucking relates with me. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah,
Dude,
asshole.
dude, Jenny,
Dick.
so my old lady sent me something this earlier today. I can't remember what word it was, and she had that word in the conversation. I was like, "What does that mean exactly?"
Can we get this man to say who he listens
know.
to? Damn
Okay,
it?
I'll shut up. I'll shut
okay.
up.
So if I'm working out, I'm listening to motivational speakers.
No, we're not working out. We're riding 4-wheelers, drinking beer.
Okay. I'm probably jamming some Kevin Gates.
Really?
I'm gonna have to.
Have you ever seen him on stage? He like air fucks this air.
I ain't seen him on stage.
Dude, he like makes love to every woman there, dude. It's
Really?
insane.
So y'all have
Look him up
talked
on
about
YouTube,
Kevin
though.
Gates, and I've heard about Kevin Gates, but me personally have not listened to a song. Like I don't even know who that is, what he looks like, or anything.
He's got some good stuff.
He's got some good music. The dude can be pretty deep, but what I'm telling you is, Charlie, go on YouTube and look at him up at a concert.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Dude, he literally will stop in the middle of a song and start talking what he does in the bedroom right there, and every girl in that fucking place is hollering, boy. I was watching on YouTube one night. I don't know where I started hollering, dude. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, fuck."
What's your guys' favorite song of Kevin Gates? So I know what to listen to first.
I probably Out the Mud, man. That's a classic.
What's it called?
Out the Mud.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I get it out the mud. Yeah.
Probably a song called "Me Too."
Me too.
Oh yeah.
Probably "Me Too."
That's a damn good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fucking bangs. It's a good one.
So anyway, I hate to cut
What's
everybody
the
short.
one? Charlie Farley, what's the one? It's like FF, what? Not FFG. TTG. Check that one out. TTG. That's by him.
Anyway, I hate to cut everybody short, but we've been on long enough. You can go ahead and do the outro, Sturge.
You want me to do the outro?
Yeah, but Charlie, don't hop off as soon as we
All right.
live. We got
Yo. We appreciate everybody hopping in here. Don't forget to check out American Whiskey. That's my podcast. Me and my boys over there. We want to thank Charlie Farley for hopping on.
Thank y'all for having me.
Master Distiller Sean Rigsby and the one and only Big Easy for letting me go over here, ruin the show, do my thing. But it was an honor to meet you, Charlie. It really was.
Likewise.
But don't forget, guys, Big Easy, how can they find your podcast?
We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can go to the YouTube channel, click on the live link, and rewatch all these episodes. So you just type it
Boom.
into Google.
So keep on drinking, and we are still talking on that podcast.
American Whiskey.
American Whiskey.
wait. Not to
What's
stop
up, Big
everybody,
Chuck?
but where can everybody find you, Charlie, on social media?
You can just Google Charlie Farley Music on TikTok, it's at the real Charlie Farley. There's so many fakes these days, but
Yeah.
it's at the real Charlie Farley. Instagram is Charlie Farley Music. Facebook's Charlie Farley Music. Snapchat is Charlie Effin Farley, like FN, and Twitter's the same, or X, I guess they call it these days. I think YouTube's Charlie Farley Videos. So yeah, if you just search Charlie Farley, Charlie with an IE.
So when I messaged you, was that really you?
On what platform?
TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure. I was like,
Yep.
fuck, it may not have been, but it was cool.
Yeah, that was really me. You just messaged me earlier today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. That
I
was
was
me.
hoping it was. I was like, my wife's like, it's probably not even really.
Man, I swear to God, TikTok is the hardest freaking platform to get verified on. They're like, okay, we need your social security card, we need your driver's license.
We need your COVID vaccine.
And that's fine because I am me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got that shit. What I don't have, they're like, we need verified sources that have published something about you. And I'm like, what? So you got to give them like this list of magazines.
Magazines?
Yeah.
No shit.
It's crazy as hell.
Fuck.
Are we still live or are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
But
still
anyway,
live.
guys, appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. Y'all have a good night and shine on.
Yeah, y'all take
Peace.
care.